What's up, horror fam? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is doing well. So for today's trailer review and reaction, we have medieval horror movie A Knight's War, directed by the man who played Psycho Goreman. The trailer just recently dropped within the last day or so. I'm excited for this one. I have not reviewed this trailer at all. Have not reviewed 1 second of it. I wanted to wait for this moment to do a review and reaction because the medieval time period is one of my favorite time periods of all. I just love everything about it. I love anytime I can come across a film that has to do with this time period. It's a must-see for me. So the fact that we are getting a medieval horror film was right up my alley. The fact that the two came together to give me a film called A Knight's War, I am all in for, regardless of what this trailer shows. Unless this trailer is an absolute disaster and the film looks absolutely terrible, I plan on seeing this one regardless. So especially just looking at this first image, I'm assuming it's from the trailer. I cannot wait to see this film. So let's jump into some of the details of the article, and then we're going to jump right into the trailer. So the next film from Epic Pictures, specialty horror label Dread, A Knight's War, a medieval horror movie coming to select theaters February 7th and VOD outlets February 11th. Exclusively watch the trailer below, which we are going to do here in a moment. In the film, a fearless knight braves a deadly realm to save the chosen one's soul. Facing witches, demons, and brutal foes, he discovers her return could ignite chaos and doom humanity. And then we have here who is written and directed by, who's starring in it. It says here Matthew played the title character in Psycho Goreman. A little bit down here below, we have a quote here. I'd imagine it's from the director. A Knight's War is a testament to what can be achieved with passion, creativity, and an incredible team. This film holds a special place in my heart because of the sheer determination and effort that went into every aspect of its creation, says director Matt Ninneber. The grit and love that went into this film are undeniable when you see it on screen. A Knight's War was co-financed by Epic Pictures as a Dread original in association with High Rise Studio and is executive produced by Epic Pictures CEO Patrick Ewald. So going back to the top real quick, I want to touch on the fact that this is select theaters February 7th and VOD outlets on February 11th. I've mentioned this before. I don't really understand this concept or this business practice of putting it in select theaters and then going right to VOD. I always feel, leave it sometime in theaters to try to garner some, box office results. Because select theaters, at least within my area, is, 1 or 2 theaters, at least within my surrounding area, and 1 or 2 showings within the smallest theater that's available possible. And, typically when you go look to see what's available, there's 1 or 2 seats sold, and that's about it. And for me, that's part of the fact that it's in such a small theater where there's only 7 or 8 rows of seats. And so you can imagine if there's just 8 rows of seats, the screen itself is going to be fairly small as compared to other theaters within a cinema. So if it's going to hit VOD within, and in this case, within 4 days, you're just better off saving some money and just rent it and see if you happen to like it or not. Save yourself the hassle of going to a theater. But again, as I've mentioned, time period piece. Love the fact that it's taking place in medieval time and it's a horror film. So if we scroll down here, we also have a first poster for the film. I imagine this is the first poster for the film, seeing how the trailer's just dropping. A Knight's War, no gods, no mercy. So looking forward to seeing what this trailer has to offer. So let's get right into the details.
Long ago, a prophecy foretold the rise of a chosen one. A woman with fiery hair who would reshape the world. Something dark has happened here. Whatever they're preparing, it happens tonight. Go find the men and tell them what you have seen. The prophecy is true. What are they doing? They're sacrificing themselves. For what? To free the fallen. They are opening a gateway to hell.
Who are you? I am the lonely keeper of this realm. As long as there's light in this talisman, You'll be able to die and be reborn.
I have fought the witch for as long as I can remember. Each night, it captures me, peels back my skin, drinking my blood.
How have you crossed through the forbidden gate?
Do you mind if we skip to the fighting part?
Each death has a cost, and is one step closer to us being trapped here forever.
You will fight for her when others will not. You will protect her when others fail. You will be a shield while the storm rages on. That is your destiny.
I take no joy in your destruction.
So I will say I am, as I mentioned, I love the medieval times. One of my, if not my favorite time periods. Period. I'll give you an example. If you've never seen Kingdom of Heaven with Orlando Bloom, I absolutely love that film. That would be an example of the time period I'm talking about outside of the horror genre. Now, looking at this trailer, I'll still see the film because of the time period. From the horror aspect, you can see this. I can understand now why it's select theaters and going to VOD within 4 days. The many of the shots, especially of this castle, they refer to it as a realm, at least twice, looked very cheap. If that's the best way and the nicest way to put it. It looked very low budget. And much of like whatever witchcraft was happening that they were using as far as their powers or their abilities looked very cheap as well. There were just some scenes where you can tell there just wasn't much of a budget behind it. Now, whatever this main villain is that looked like the skeleton with the horns on it, that looked pretty good. There were a few other scenes where you had this looked like a female that had all white makeup, their eyes covered. Those shots looked pretty nice, but other than that, when it came to the actual special effects and the castle, the outside shots, the mountains, everything just looked very just cheaply done. I think much of that could have been polished up, maybe just a bit to make it look a little bit more realistic. Again, I'm not sure. I tried checking in on some more details outside the article to see what the budget for this film was. I couldn't find those details, but just looking at this trailer, looks very low budget. Again, I will give it an opportunity to win me over just for the simple fact it is a medieval knights time period, and it happens to be a horror film. So otherwise, I don't have much hopes for this film. I don't think many people are going to go see it in theaters, even the select theaters. And I would be surprised if many people even go to rent it. I think if it's going to garner an audience, it's going to get that through a streaming platform. And I'm not even sure what streaming platform this may eventually fall upon. I could see this one falling upon maybe like on Hulu or something like that nature if it's not already owned some way or another by Shudder, or eventually finds its way on Shudder. Otherwise, I could see this being like a Hulu thing. I don't see something like this falling on Netflix, Max, Paramount, Peacock, any of those other ones. It's either probably gonna be Hulu or Shudder that it might fall on. Other than that, like I said, the trailer was just okay. It wasn't overwhelmingly like, yeah, I'm excited to see this film. I can't wait to see it. I think what did it for me was very much the graphics, the story, just the small synopsis we got from the article. Really didn't line up with what the trailer was showing. If I wouldn't have read the synopsis that we got, I would have been very confused by watching this trailer as to what's the point of this film, what are we trying to achieve, outside the fact that who the main knight is, there's this realm, you see who the villain is, and then you see this other female knight as well who appears to be with him or joins him at some point, and she has some magical abilities because we saw her use them at the end of the trailer. But when she used those, again, it looked very cheap, looked very just not realistic. I mean, they could have, again, polished that up to make it a little bit more believable. So, bit disappointed in the trailer, but nonetheless, we will still see it. So, let us know what you think. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know, are you interested in seeing a Night's War. If you're not, let us know that as well. If this is a complete pass for you, again, drop a comment in the comment section. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. And we will see you at the next one. Peace.